Gautam, aka the Seek of Wisdom. I'm a manifestation coach, and in this video, we're going to be talking about feeling overwhelmed when you're manifesting an SP. Now, before I do so, I'd like to remind you guys I am available for coaching, so I offer hourly, monthly, email, and DM coaching along with premium coaching right now, which is basically unlimited calls and unlimited DMs. I also have two different Facebook groups. I have a paid Facebook group where I come up live 4 times a month, answer your queries, as well as upload exclusive resources for you guys to use. And I also have a free Facebook group where I upload my YouTube videos in advance and upload free resources as well. Now, I also have a mailing list where I post my articles from time to time, as well as my latest offers for coaching. And last but not least, I also have many different courses and bundles based on manifesting a specific person, as well as mastering your self concept. So if you guys need any information on that, feel free to email me or DM me via Instagram for pricing information, and I'll be more than happy to guide you guys on any of those things. So without further ado, guys, let's get to it. So what prompted this video was one of my Instagram posts at the time of me recording this video, and some of my friends and some of you guys actually suggested that I elaborate on that on a YouTube video. So I thought this would be a great topic to expand upon. So essentially that post was the one that featured Bruce Lee. If you guys are following me on Instagram, you'll know which one I'm talking about. But essentially in that post I was talking about how do you like deal with feeling overwhelmed. And that post, I'll link it in the description down below. It was titled something along the lines of like, if you ever feel like giving up, then read this. So that was the post, and essentially the things that I spoke about there is what you guys wanted me to expand upon. And the reason why I even wrote that post in the first place was because recently I was feeling very overwhelmed about certain things that are ongoing in my life. And for context, I don't want to talk too much about it, but like, long story short, I'm going through massive changes in my life, and that kind of overwhelmed me at one point, right? And I'm only human, because a lot of people sometimes think that how do you carry yourself so confidently and things like that. And the truth is, I also have my moments. And this was one of the reasons why I even made that post, was because I had the like, I had to like really sit down and kind of calm myself down, because truth of the matter was, I was feeling overwhelmed. And I want to like translate it into different contexts, because this is what I also tell my clients to do as well whenever they kind of feel overwhelmed these days. So I found it really effective both for myself and some of my clients too. So that's why I kind of wanted to elaborate on that. So whenever you are feeling overwhelmed when manifesting a specific person, and I'm going to be talking about it in this context specifically, because that's what many of my audience like come to my channel for, right? So whenever you are like manifesting a specific person and you are feeling overwhelmed, what I'd suggest you guys do is simply take it moment by moment. You break things down, right, into digestible bits. So what I would do if I were you is that I would simply sit down, right? I would, like really start working on my breath, right? Because if I'm feeling overwhelmed, chances are I'm taking, I don't have enough air to breathe, right? So I would really sit down and, just calm myself down by breathing, right? And I will just accept the situation as it is right now. And that does not mean that I'm fine with the way things are right now. But what I am doing is not overwhelming my system by constantly reinforcing that this isn't working, this isn't working, this isn't working. I'm not going to be flashing warning signs and danger signs in my mind and, just adding to that overwhelmingness in my mind. So, what I am going to do is to just tell myself, okay, this situation is what it is right now. And yes, as much as we want to change it, the first step to change things is to accept it. And I'm not going to sit here and just reinforce the negative ideas over and over and over again, because that will cause me to negatively spiral. Oh, what if this, what if that, and things like that. Like, that is not going to help. So in order for you to even like take the next step, the first step I would say is stabilizing yourself. And stabilizing in this context is simply to accept things just as they are right now. And that's what I had to do when I was feeling overwhelmed. I had to simply sit down and I was like, listen, okay, things are as it is right now, right? We might be, facing a bit of obstacles, or, like we might be in trouble, or in other words, we might be in deep shit right now, right? It's okay. And, the other thing to this is that this might not even be true, but that's how the mind perceives it. And rather than like justifying, no, we are not, and things like that, and kind of like trying to reason with our mind at that point, just accept it. Okay, fine, that's where we are right now, it's okay, just accept it, right? Just breathe and stabilize yourself, right? Like just sit down, you know um, grab a your favorite meal, or grab a cup of coffee or something. Just sit down and just enjoy it, right? If you can't just sit down and meditate, for example, go grab a cup of coffee or drink a glass of water. Just relax your mind, just stabilize yourself, right? Regardless of what it may be, chances are you might not be able to like change it at that specific moment, and that's fine, right? Like even if like your SP is hanging out with a third party right now, and like you are just so agitated, you just want to do something about it. The truth of the matter is that you can't do anything about it at that moment in the 3D, right? Like at least. So just stabilize yourself. It's okay. It is what it is. Just sit down, stabilize yourself, and accept it for what it is. You don't have to deny it. You know, we can we can deal with revision later. All that stuff is done. But for now, just sit down and stabilize yourself, right? Don't be checking your social media. In fact, I'd say keep your phone as far away from you as possible during this time, simply because like having that device in your hand is only going to make it worse, right? No matter how much information you try to find, for example, in that context, like you wouldn't be able to find it. Or you might be trying to reach out to someone, right? Like through like calling them, for example, and they might not be picking up. And that only leads to more spiraling. So to prevent all that, just keep your phone away, right? Just stabilize yourself, just relax yourself, just lay down in the bed if you have to, or just lean on the sofa and just like sit down, make yourself comfortable, and just relax yourself, right? Just take deep breaths in and out, right? Just close your eyes, just rest your body, just relax your shoulders, and just sit there, be still, right? And what this does is to just slow things down, right? It slows down the mind, and it really calms your nervous system. Because this has really helped me when I was feeling overwhelmed not too long ago. I really had to sit down and just calm myself down. I was like, okay, just chill. And I kept my phone away, and I was like, okay, just sit down, right? And just relax yourself. Because panicking here will not help. In fact, panicking in any situation will not help. So I would say, like, take as much time as you guys need to stabilize yourself. Then comes the question, okay, what then? So then think about what is it that you want, right? In the most simplest way. And what do I mean by this? So go straight to the end. Think about the objective. So if you're manifesting an SP, obviously the union is what you want, right? So what you would do is simply just accept the end as though it's already a done deal. So what I would tell myself, and this is how I would talk to myself, right? And I'm giving you guys like like a little bit of context here, so that it's easier for you guys to kind of walk yourself through this process if you ever find yourself in similar situations. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, like this is what I would do, right? So I would tell myself, okay, listen, what is it that you want? And so I would reply something along the lines of, okay, I want to be with my SP, for example, or I want XYZ situation to be sorted out. And I would tell myself, okay, fine, it's sorted out. You're now together with your SP, right? You have that which you want. It's already done. Creation is already finished. It's done. Now I want you to relax and just go. And what do I mean by go? Just go with the flow of life, right? It's done. It's done. It's done. And I would tell myself that over and over and over again. And my mind might say something along the lines of, yes, but this is happening right now, and by this I mean the current set of circumstances, right? And you might have the same thing as well. Yes, I want to be with my SP, and yes, you are telling me right now that the union is done, but they are together with the 3P right now, something along those lines. Your mind might play tricks on you like that. And whenever your mind goes to yes, but, you have to stop yourself there. No buts or ifs or whatever, right? No what ifs and things like that. Nothing to divert your mind to the unfavorable scenarios, right? You can't entertain any of those things. What I would do here is to just say, okay, it's done, and no buts, right? So let's say if I want a job somewhere, right? And the interview you might have heard, like, okay, it's very hard to crack it or something like that, right? You've already gotten the job. That's it. No buts or ifs or whatsoever. You have already gotten that job. And you need to anchor yourself in that firmly. And in your SP's case, again, if you're manifesting a relationship, you simply say you are now in a committed, loving relationship with so and so. If you are manifesting, marriage, happily married to this person. And that's it. Anchor yourself in that. And what do I mean by anchor yourself in that? Once you're stabilized, what I would do is start imagining that situation, right? Over and over and over again. And, like if you're unable to visualize, right? Write it down, read it as a script, you know the drill. So what I would do is just familiarize myself with that and just anchor myself in that specific thing. And the reason why we do this is to really like tell ourselves like, like, okay, this is what we are going to experience. It's all going to be fine. And what I have to do right now is just simply allow that moment to pass by, right? And the idea through this process is to relax ourselves. Now, why is this so important? And one of the main things that I actually covered in the Instagram post that I did was all about relaxing your mind and taking things one step at a time by just focusing on the present moment. So once you are, done visualizing or imagining the scene that you want, you simply like hone in on relaxing yourself, the relief that you get from visualizing these scenes, right? And one of the reasons why I, stabilize myself and immediately go to like visualizing whatever I want is that it gives me the sense of relief. It gives me the sense of peace, right? By, imagining those things. Because if I have already all that I want, how would I feel? I'd feel peaceful. I'd feel a huge sense of relief. And that's what I want to feel, right? And that's the kind of feeling that I want to feel. So I start to give that to myself right now, right? And life is all about, going from moment to moment. So the idea is that if I am right now in the present moment feeling relaxed and peaceful, right? If I am feeling relaxed and peaceful right now, the idea is that I'm going to attract more of that. I'm going to attract more of ease and grace into my life. Whereas if I'm in constant panic mode, I might get my desires, yes, but chances are I might have to, climb a mountain to get it, right? I might have to cross through, obstacles to get it. And I don't want that. Like, I want to get my desires easily. And by relaxing right now and by giving that peace and relief to myself right now in the present moment, right, and creating a state of ease, what I am doing is not only am I attracting my desires, but I'm also attracting it in the easiest, smoothest way possible because I deserve that too. It's not like I want to be like panicking all the time till I get my desires. That's not the way we live life, right? And the last thing I want any of you guys to do is to kind of look back at your life and say, you know what, I wish I was more relaxed, that now that I've gotten my, like my specific person, or now that I've gotten whatever I want, I wish I was more relaxed, throughout this period. Because look where I'm at right now. I've gotten all the things that I want, but was it worth it to panic and cry and, get stressed all that time? No, it's not. So that's why I kind of emphasize the idea of being relaxed and creating a state of ease and attracting things that way, because there's no glory in struggle, right? As much as our society has the habit of glorifying all those things, one thing that I'm kind of like making peace with is to stop glorifying that and rather, go with the flow and, have a, like let things come to us easily, right? Because life must be joyful, life must be happy. Maybe not all the times, right? But, we can make it the majority of the time, if you will. And that's my goal. So this is why I always like, try to feel the peace and relief as much as possible. And in the process of doing so, in that state of mind, what I'm trying to do is that I'm attracting everything in the easiest way possible. So when I was feeling overwhelmed, like I tried to hone in on that aspect of it. Okay, if you have all that you want, what would you be feeling right now? Great. Carry that momentum throughout the day. So how do you do that? How do you carry the momentum throughout the day? So what I would do is to remind myself of that constantly, to remind myself of that feeling constantly. Right? Okay, you already have your desires. Now feel the relief as much as you can. And this, when I say feel, I'm not talking about an emotion as much as I'm referring to peace and relief and everything. What I am doing in that time is trying to feel my desires real. I would close my eyes, like see my desires and try to feel that relief. Okay, you are now, in your dream house, in your dream bed, you are just relaxing, right? You're waking up to the perfect view. How are you feeling? Right? How, secure you feel, how safe do you feel, right? And that's the kind of feelings I try to hone in on by reminding myself of all that I already have in my 4D. And I kept going back to that over and over and over again, right? Until like that feeling safe and feeling relief became my default. And once I started to do this, no matter what the 3D showed me, like it didn't overwhelm me. I started to just take things day by day, like moment to moment, right? Okay, am I going to make breakfast right now? Great, I'm going to make breakfast. I'm going to enjoy the process too because I already know that, whatever I want is already mine. So there's no point like panicking or worrying about it anyway. It doesn't make sense. So what am I going to do? I'm going to, make my breakfast, in the happiest possible way, as though it's already done. And I'm gonna like just soak in every experience in life. I'm gonna maximize every moment of my life. I'm gonna squeeze the joy out of every single moment. And as soon as I started to do this, I started to enjoy life more, and I started to become less like panicky. I'm like less overwhelmed, and life just becomes a breeze, and that momentum just trickles into other areas of your life as well, and just things starts to flow. And this is what like you need to hone in on, in order to become a master manifester. And this is not to say that you will never feel overwhelmed or you'll never feel panic. Like I said, I experienced it not too long ago, but because I had a way of dealing with it, I quickly like I was able to just jump back and get back into the saddle and just go forward. Right? It's not about not falling. It's about picking yourself up quickly as soon as possible when you do indeed fall. Right? Because it might happen from time to time. Maybe just the circumstances might just get to you sometimes, or someone might have said something that just triggered you, and it's okay. It's just something for you to work on. But if you just come back to this feeling of like feeling safe and secure, and like feeling it real, as though you already have your desires, and reminding yourself that creation is already finished and all these truths, and just seeing your desire, it'll really help. Or one of my favorite techniques, I've not really shared this yet, but I think this is going to be really useful for some of you. If you're really good at visualizing, if you're really good at hearing audio, this is gonna be a game changer. I loved it, and I think that many of you might as well, especially if you're a fan of Neville. So what I do is I just tell Neville, like, in my mind, just whatever I want. So I have a conversation with him, right? So I this might be a little funny, but basically what I do is I just imagine Neville and I, like, we are sitting in like separate couches, like how you would like be, the kind you would be like, sitting on whenever you're talking to a therapist, for example, like what you see in like TV shows and stuff like that, right? Like we are having like a cup of tea because tea is my favorite drink. And Neville asks me, okay, how are you doing? And I tell him like, okay, hey, this is what I'm up to, right? And I want XYZ, okay? And he asks me like, okay, what is it that you want? And I tell him like, okay, I want XYZ. And he tells me okay, and he just listens to it. And I'm visualizing him, right? Because I'm really good at visualizing, so I just visualize him, and he tells me, then you are now experiencing XYZ. He just reverts it back to me, and he asks me more details. He'll be like, tell me, okay, what does this, maybe like, let's say I'm manifesting a car, like what does this car look like, right? What's the color of the car? What are this how does the seats look like? Or if it's a house, like tell me, what does this house look like? How many bedrooms does this house have? How many bathrooms does this house have? Or where is it located? How are the views like? Right? If you have a specific house, better yet, show him. Right? Bring him there. Teleport yourself there. Show him every room and hear him applaud you for the grandiose of your vision, so to speak. Right? And you can even talk to him about your specific person and why do you love them? What made you fall in love with them? What was your first conversation with them was like? And hear him again reinforce the idea that you are now together with this person, right? And like really, like if you're in a house, if you're manifesting a house, for example, you can hear him tell you like, this house is already yours. If you are manifesting an SP, hear him tell you, okay, you're now blissfully married to this person, or you're now in a committed relationship with this person, and just keep reinforcing that it's done, and hear him tell you it's done. Now go in peace, right? Go and enjoy your life. Hear him tell you that. And when I hear it from Neville's voice, because like this whole teaching is based on whatever he and Joseph Murphy and his students have established, like I just find a great level of comfort and peace whenever I hear it from his voice, where when Neville tells me like, hey, you already have this, now go peacefully, it just soothes me that much more. And that may or may not be the case for you, but you can also replace it with any other celebrity that you want, right? One of my alternative go-tos is like Audrey Hepburn, for example, right? Because I love Audrey Hepburn. So it can be anyone for you that way. But when you're hearing it in a person's voice that you hold to a high regard, what it does is that it soothes your mind as well. So these were the things that I did to manage the feeling of feeling overwhelmed. Again, this isn't something that you can avoid, because sometimes it just strikes you from nowhere, and you know what, it's fine, right? It's like a bird strike, like when you're flying an airplane, right? Like obviously we don't want that to happen, but if it happens, what do? Right? It's like that movie, the Tom Hanks movie that was based on a real life event where they landed a plane in a Hudson. That plane had a bird strike, right? And if you saw, the pilot was so calm. Like Tom Hanks and his co-pilot, the first officer, they were really really like relaxed, and in the sense that, okay, they knew there was a sense of danger there, they need to act fast. But what did they do? They went through the checklist, right? They did everything. They were in constant communication with the radio tower, and they did everything, right? But they were very calm, because they knew that panicking isn't going to help them. It's only going to make the situation worse, right? And they just took that decision and they just went with it. So what I would do is that just go with the flow, right? Take it from moment to moment, enjoy it, maximize it as much as you can, and remind yourself that this is only temporary, that's not going to last, right? Also, I've covered that in another video. But and some of you might ask, well, okay, that's all fine, but there is something that really really sucks right now and I want to get out of it. What do I do? Right? Don't keep reinforcing the idea that it sucks, right? Think about, okay, how is this going to benefit me, right? What can I learn from this moment, or what is it that I can take away? Because I know this is temporary. So rather than just feeling worried or anxious and really like feeling frustrated and hating this moment, why don't I create a like a sense of relief and feeling safe in my mind, and know that no matter how much this sucks, I'm going to be taken away anyway. So why don't I maximize even this moment as well? When you come at it from that perspective, the energy just changes. And yes, that moment, that specific moment might suck, but you will be out of it soon. Time just flies. And before you know it, you're already experiencing your desires. Again, it's a marathon, not a sprint, so pace yourself, right? If the day really sucked for you, go ahead and give yourself the permission to rest or treat yourself to a good meal to boost your morale, right? Just relax your mind, right? And like, don't be checking the 3D. Just go and rest. Just go and sleep it off, right? And before you know it, things will change. I guarantee you that the momentum will change for the better. So don't give up, right? You got this. And save this video for future use if you ever need it. But guys, we have come to this end of this video. If this video resonated with you, be sure to drop a like and a comment down below. turn on the bell notification so that you guys will know when I upload a new video every single week. We are doing a 1 hour coaching giveaway for one person when the channel reaches 1111 subscribers, so 1111 subscribers. This is my way of just saying thank you to the community, and I'll be doing more giveaways like this. I just did a giveaway not too long ago as well, for 1 week DM coaching. So this time I'm doing it for 1 hour coaching call. So guys, I really appreciate all of you for the support and love that you guys give me all the time, and I really appreciate it. Know that it's not taken for granted by me. And yeah, I love you all. Stay safe and happy manifesting. Peace.